see, in my century, we cracked the code for time travel. We found out what all timelines, all times, all universes, and all times exist simultaneously and on top of each other, and what we were just is thin walls separating the various times. Unfortunately, some of these time travelers have now wreaked havoc on the past and even the future. And that includes your past, which means that some objects which does not belong in your time has landed there. So that's why and you may wonder, what are these glasses? Well, these glasses allow me to identify objects or persons which does not belong in this time. They have this inbuilt hollow projection sort of thingies, which allow me to analyze it and allow me to sort of see if a person or object belongs in this time or not. I just have to analyze you. Just a short moment. Okay, and now I just have to be certain what you're supposed to, what you're not from my time or any other time, but you're from this time. That's very important. So yeah, you seem fine. Yeah, and you seem to be from this time. That's good. So this may be strange to you, meeting someone from the future, but trust me, I'm not dangerous, and I just want to be certain that there's been no chaos unleashed in your time and timeline. So I'll take these glasses off now. Well, it's nice to see you more clearly now. So, I have found a few objects which does not seem to belong to this time. I have found something called the double dice, and the double dice is from the 2320s, and it seems to have time travelers from my time has traveled into the 2320s and sort of traveled back to your time and placed these objects here. You know, and this is not okay. I work for this sort of time corporation, which sort of tries to find these people who cause chaos in time and apprehend them. And you know, finding these objects are clues to their whereabouts. So the double dice was used in the 2320s and became common in the 2320s because when dice stopped being sold separately and they began being sold only in pairs. So instead of the objects instead of the dices being from 1 to 6, they are instead from 1 to 12. Yeah. So you know, in the future they've stopped selling dice separately. They only sell them in pair. Of course, some games of your century probably use aspects of this concept already, but in the 2320s it became common. You know, you always use a double dice. You never only use one dice anymore. So, you want to look at them? Yeah, here, look. Look. Yeah, look. And look. Yeah. So these dices, they are not supposed to be in your time. I know they look like regular dice, but I could see with my glasses. They are actually the double dice of the 2320s. Yeah. So yeah. Now, a different... this is the Robodog. This is the Robodog, and this is actually an AI Robopet from the 3000s. It has sort of a consciousness. It's become commonplace in the 3000s. Yeah. It started being developed in the 31st century, in the 3000s. And if you go to parks in the 3000s, you'll find people playing with these kind of robopets. You know, a lot of people own them, even people who do not like pets actually now own robopets or not everyone, but many. So it's very common in the. It's become a very common thing in the 3000s. If you go to 3000s, you see people sort of walking with their robot dogs, and the robot dogs been used by security officers, by police officers, by everyone, and by civilians, and even by the military, who sort of use drones and drops these robot dogs from high grounds to sort of conduct military raids against targets. It's become really popular and really used. It's kind of noisy, so I won't turn it on, but it's a really nice. It's a really nice animal. Yeah, you can see it sort of slightly move its head, So that's because I think it's hungry. Yeah. We actually eat some sort of synthetic food thingies. Yeah, like it's food made specifically for robots. It's more like fuel actually, but still. So robot dogs has become very popular in the 3000s, and a lot of people like these dogs. Of course, people still use regular pets too, but you will often see people walk about their robot dogs and their pet drones in the 3000s. It's really been, and were still used in my time. So it's really revolutionized animal life. Yeah. Now, this is actually an Opposito code brick with the number 75, and this is from 2183. You see, in 2175, the world suffered a nuclear apocalypse. Yeah, and from those ruins rose the corporation known as Opposito Corporation, which actually quickly took control of everything afterwards. They started replacing humans with machines. So video artists, laborers, everything was replaced with machines and AI programs. And Opposito, it was a really dark and dystopic time forever, and Opposito became the dominant corporation. And to this day, there are many conspiracy theories, but Opposito engineered the nuclear apocalypse, but they created it so that they could take control over the world and its industries, because Opposito was in retrospect very quick on the scene afterwards. They weren't a big corporation before 2175, but when 2175 happened, and afterward Opposito became the dominant corporation. And now, this is a code brick used by the Opposito, with the Opposito brand and the 75 brand, and this code brick allowed you to get access to the net, or to the parts of the net that still worked, and Opposito only gifted this to their members and their descendants, so it rose a sort of a privileged class of people, and these were people who weren't that privileged before 2175. Unfortunately, the survivors, the ones who had been privileged before, were now not so privileged anymore, and they formed a rebel faction to Opposito, because Opposito had sort of taken control of everything and driven all of these other people into the cult. So the rebels consist of former video artists and former people who were not well off after the apocalypse, and we really wanted to stop Opposito from taking control of the entire world and replacing it with machines. So, and eventually, later in the 2180s, they got a hold of this code and managed to build their own rebel net, and that was a turning point in the rebellion against Opposito. Before that, the rebels had no net, but Opposito had control of everything. Yeah. So this is the Opposito 75 brand. Yeah, and it was dominant from the 2170s to the 2200s. Yeah, they were the dominant corporation of Earth. They controlled everything. So they're very famous, even in my time. They're still, it's still they're still a well-known past corporation. Of course, very long since been dissolved. But you know, in the history books, we're told about how Opposito just gained control of the entire world after the nuclear apocalypse of 2175. Yeah. So this is an Opposito pen, and these were sold in the 2200s. These were one of Opposito's final products, yeah, because these were one of Opposito's final products. Yeah, you see, in the 2200s, the rebels finally succeeded in deposing Opposito, and the machine society was dissolved. Yeah, yeah, and the corporation was dissolved. And this was in the year 2209. 2209. Yeah, yeah. And this was and the rebels and the world sort of returned to more of a normal state, and the rebels used the coming centuries to rebuild the world from the apocalyptic events. Yeah. And they have succeeded, and Opposito became a distant memory after a while. But you know, but the pen became ironically very popular with the rebels and as an historical relic, because it was a reminder of the age of Opposito, and to the rebels the fact that this was one of Opposito's final products symbolized but they had now defeated Opposito. So it became sort of like a victory song for the rebels, and it's one of the most famous products of the Opposito period. Yeah, you know, there's a picture of the leader of the rebels, a former video artist in the old society actually, holding a pen with the Opposito brand victoriously to symbolize that, yeah, now Opposito had been defeated. You know, yeah. So yeah, now I just need to analyze and make 100% certain that you're not a time traveler, that you belong in this time. You see, if you're a time traveler, or if you try to mess up time in a way, I have to apprehend you and bring you back to my time, to archive you. And as we archive objects which we have found, which we have found in the wrong times, and these objects are placed in secure vaults, and this sometimes also includes cells, high security cells for time travelers who made the wrong choice, who tried to distort the past, you know. I work for something called the V Corporation, or the Time Corporation, if you will, of my time, to make sure that time travelers and objects which has caused chaos in the past are secured. I hope I do not have to apprehend you, but yeah, I just have to make sure you're fine. Okay, you seem fine. Good, you seem fine. Okay, this is Norwegian milk chocolate. This is of course found in your century as well, in the 21st century in Norway, but this particular brand of Norwegian milk chocolate is from the 2180s and 2190s, and it is branded with the Opposito 75 brand. 75 of course referring to the year of the nuclear apocalypse, which allowed the Opposito Corporation to take power. So of course we branded the Norwegian chocolate to show what we know we're in full control of the world and society. Yeah, it was a dark and dystopic time. No, a lot of people were not well off. Only the members of the Opposito Corporation were well off. Ironically, members of the Opposito Corporation were actually just commoners or poor of the old society, and so the tables had been turned. And you know, so yeah, but we of course used their newfound power to gruesome means by replacing humans with machines, but taking control of everything. It was no way. It was a really horrible time. Yeah. But thankfully, Opposito was defeated. So. it seems we have been through most of the objects, but what was what's relevant to this investigation? I think yes, I just have to make sure there are no objects left. So just wait a bit. Shh. Shh. Wait, there's one object left. Yeah, there's one object left. So first of all, here's the Opposito 75 brand, Opposito Corporation. Yeah. But 1 second, here's the brand, the V brand, and you see these 6 circles around it. These are the node symbols. The symbol is nodes or connection points, if you will. You see in the 27 nights, the 37 90s, 37 90s. The word was connected by 6 connection points, which are we cracked, and these 6 connection points allowed humans to finally instant travel from one location to another. It was revolutionary, and this was sponsored by the V Corporation, and this allowed the V Corporation to become the dominant corporation of the world. And so what, even in the 39, so what even in my time, the 3910s were still the dominant corporation, and were actually in charge of the time protection console. Yeah. So these 6 points, these 6 node points are still functional today and allow instant transportation from one place to another, and they are placed at 6 very distinct and different locations in the world. Yeah. And it allows instant transportation. Yeah. So yeah. Now, you may wonder. Now, it's been a pleasure visiting your time, the 21st century, but I soon have to get back to my own time, I can't stay too long, it's not good, it's not wise. If I do, I can cause distortions in the past and timeline myself. In my century there are people who have traveled to both the past and the future, and who caused all kind of nasty timelines that we just have to deal with. So we have to be strict on these time travelers causing a mess, in my century, the net has become really advanced. You have the ability to sort of hollow project yourself as a psychical, physical sort of projection, allowing you to. The net has become much more advanced and much more interactable, more like a simulation, So you can talk with people, sort of project yourself and talk to them like you would physically. Only, but you're not actually there physically. It's very advanced, but you'll get there because my time is your future, and my past is your present. Now, before I go, it's very important what you do not tell anyone about what you heard. If you do, when time travelers from my time will have to deal with you, and maybe even archive you in a vault somewhere in the future, because you see, humanity cannot know too much about their own future. So you have to keep this. Shh. If you do not, there will be consequences. There will be consequences. So you keep quiet. Everything you've heard. That's really important. Keep it quiet. Now, I hope you sort of enjoyed getting to know a little about the future, and I appreciate your cooperation and what I was allowed to investigate these anomalies in the timeline. We'll just do a final analysis to just to make sure everything's okay. Shh. 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 Good. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. And then I'll just sort of imprint something in you. So that last part was just so. That last part was just so we could find you if you sort of began blabbering to everyone. if you are, it's been a pleasure meeting you. And I so enjoyed our conversation. So maybe we'll meet sometime again in the future. Yeah. Well, good day to you. Well, now I must go back.